In the very devastating and very public news, it looks like Meghan Markle's next big venture could also be collapsing. But as ever, what is it? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. As ever, nice to have your company today. Busy day here as ever, still in London as one can imagine. Lots and lots of people coming into London right now. By the way, can I just tell you, if you are in London and you want to place flowers at Buckingham Palace, they're requesting that you don't do that for obvious reasons. There's way too many. The royal gardeners are having to take them away and give them away to certain charities, which is always what happens. But they have set up a point where you can leave flowers in condolence, of course, for our wonderful late monarch, just around the corner in Green Park. If you go down to Buckingham Palace or you see those marshals down there, they will tell you where to go. And I think it's a sensible idea because obviously they're trying to get rehearsals done, roads open, all of that sort of stuff. But back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. Now, as we know, it's not been a particularly great week for Meghan in her endeavours, of course, to become a world global superstar. And I'm not mocking, I'm just saying, you know, really, when you think about it, it all started off quite well finally for Spotify. You know, they decided they were going to go ahead with these podcasts with celebrities, some we'd heard of, some we hadn't, some we've yet to hear from, and they seem to have rated reasonably well. But I would really think, given Spotify's marketing expenditure, they will be looking for a lot more downloads than they're receiving. You know, I think Mariah Carey rightly so did well, but she's a global superstar. The latest person, I've never personally heard of her for myself. Interesting story, I'm sure, but really in this digital download age, you really need to make sure you get people's finger on that button. But there were bigger plans afoot. Basically, Meghan was hoping to make it big over on television once again, after a, some might say, rather receded role in the TV drama Suits. As ever, let me explain. What happened really was that she was going to be popping up on the NBC chat show Jimmy Fallon tonight. Now, Jimmy's what you call a very soft, soapy interviewer. You know, he doesn't really push for anything dramatic, as one can imagine. Now, what's interesting here, she was going to go on, talk about all the usual stuff, the children's book, the podcast, you know, what they were doing, Harry, etc. Well, without Harry, what story is there? But, you know, the usual stuff. And what NBC were hoping, and what Meghan Markle was hoping for, was simply this, that they then would possibly see her as a maybe one tryout stand-in presenter, looking at ratings as ever. This, of course, was NBC that spent millions of pounds signing up Pippa Middleton all those years ago and then just wasted them because they didn't know what to do with her. This time around, they felt that Meghan's experience now as an interviewer on Spotify may work well on sort of this late night chat show. Of course, Jimmy Fallon, you know, quite keen because it gets him close to a connected royalty, doesn't it? That's the idea when you think about it. But moving forward, of course, that had to be cancelled. And also, it will be rescheduled at some point, we believe later in the year. But the bigger plan, if this is still ongoing, is that NBC would then look to see whether Meghan could become a semi-permanent regular host, filling in for the respected Jimmy Fallon. But right now, given that very public announcement from His Royal Highness Prince Charles, really, just how close and how regal will those top talented NBC truly think she is? And finally, more importantly, will they want to splash out all that cash? When you look at the actual podcast downloads of Spotify, will it be worth the money? Of course, in their eyes, it will, because they'll get international PR, free PR. And it's all about the digital download, so hopefully Meghan might finally bring a brand new audience to the Jimmy Fallon show. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.